Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. I'm fired up to give you our Project Bestseller Week 6 recap. Now, if this is the first recap you're tuning into, let me just give you a quick update on what's been going on. I am attempting to write and launch a best-selling book in 90 days or less before my 30th birthday on December 17th. This recap takes us all the way up through day 43. We're approaching the halfway point. I mean, this is unbelievable. And this is going to give you the full recap of this past week, what happened over the last 7 days. And let me tell you, week 6 was a funky week. It was great, but there were some unexpected things, and it was a little unorthodox in how I approached what I've been doing versus how I've been doing it. And a little bit about that, we're going to get into it, but I had 2 full days of travel that kicked my butt. And then I had Halloween weekend and a lot of rest that needed to be attended to. So let's get into it. And as always, here's how we're going to break this down. We're going to talk about what I did every single day of the week. And then we're going to talk about how much time am I actually investing into this. Now, what's been really cool, and we've been getting a ton of feedback from people who have been watching through the process, and they're loving the transparency. They're loving me doing the work, walking the walk, talking the talk, and actually making it happen. And I'll be honest with you, 43 days in, this has been challenging, okay? But it's also, to my surprise, been very methodical. And I'm really, really excited about where we're at this point of the process, 6 weeks in. All right, so let's get into it. Let's just have some fun. Let's dig straight in. So Monday. Now, every time that I'm in town on Monday, I just crush it. Like, simply put, I wake up Monday with a freaking smile on my face, just saying, let's go. And this Monday was no different. I started my week off with a bang. On Monday, I sent the book to the editor. I hired a cover designer and filled out the form, the questionnaire. I reached out to a formatter, and I literally built a very rough basic lead gen opt-in page. Now, on Monday, I realized I still needed to create and collect the resources, make more pages, and I'll talk about that in other days. But here's what I want you to know. Part of this process, especially if you're trying to do this really, really quickly, is making sure that while you're producing the book, you're also hiring the right team to help you. Now, in this case, I'm a book coach. I don't have a book coach to coach me on me being a book coach, right? But what I do have is I have an all-star team of people that help me make this book as amazing as it is. That's an editor. I hire a designer. I hire a formatter. Okay, so it's really important, and we encourage all of our clients to do this as well because it'll save you time, and ultimately, it will probably save you some money in the long run if you outsource this because you won't do it yourself, miss out on opportunities to bring in other revenue and all that other good jazz. But that was what we did on Monday. Tuesday, I just got to work on my lead generation sources. So Tuesday, I really broke down what was I going to use in the book as lead gen. I went through the book and made sure that everything made sense where it was. And then Wednesday, I'm just going to kind of lump these together. Wednesday, I took the list of the lead generation resources that we use, and I actually built out all the lead magnets. So let me give you a little explanation of what this kind of looks like. When you are writing a book to grow your business, you want to make sure that you include lead magnets or ways to generate leads from your book. When people buy your book on Amazon, they do not give you the data. So if Johnny Boy buys my book on Amazon, I know that I made a sale, but I don't know that it was Johnny Boy. In this case, if Johnny Boy reads my book and wants one of my lead gen resources, he can choose to visit that page, opt in, give me his email address and his phone number and his name, and now he will get the bonus resources and I will get the email address and the contact information. This is really, really critical when you want to grow your business from your book. And so I spent a lot of time here really just making sure I had the right resources to give away and making sure that I am starting to develop and produce high quality resources for you and for everyone who's going to read this book. And the way that I kind of think about this is, if you're reading my book, you're going to read something, and the way I thought about it was, okay, you're reading the book, and all of a sudden, oh shoot, wouldn't it be great if I had that? Well, for example, You're going to be reading the part on editing in my book, and you're going to be like, oh, wouldn't it be great if I had a script to reach out to an editor? Boom, that's a resource. We're going to actually give you a script that you can use to reach out to editors. So it's really about making sure the resources are complete, making sure they're done. And that's what I spent Tuesday and Wednesday on. Now, this is where the week kind of takes a turn. I've been crushing it up to this point, but also at this point, my book is in the editor's hands. So I can't do anything with the book. I am just focused on producing the book, right? Sending it to the cover designer. I'm waiting for the cover designer to send me some options. Right? So I'm really limited in terms of what I'm really trying to focus on for the book. But the good news is that on Thursday, I traveled all day and I gave a keynote. Friday, I did a little bit of work on the book, and then I had a full day of traveling. So let me just give you that Thursday and Friday of what I had to do in terms of travel and execution. I had a 6 a.m. flight to Ohio that I got in at 3 p.m. I took an hour and a half rental car to the campsite where I was giving a keynote. My keynote was an hour after I arrived, so I changed, prepped for my keynote, and got to it. After, I was staying in a cabin and I needed to just rest. I needed to get everything done. Amazing. Friday, I got up. I gave 2 workshops. I took the rental car straight back to the airport. I got to the airport, and that's where I got to do a little bit of my book time. I got to sit at a beautiful lounge. Thank you to Priority Pass, which is something that you get if you have a Chase Sapphire Reserve card. Just throwing that out there. Amazing. But I got access to this lounge at the Cleveland airport, and it was spectacular. Had a margarita, did a little book work, did a little relaxation on a Friday afternoon. And then I flew home and I got back to LA at about 10 p.m. So that was Thursday and Friday. I mean, it was a quick in and out, keynote, 2 workshops in Ohio, driving, flying, doing all that thing. But what I did on Friday was I just started working on a few of the small things. I really tried to be present, try to think holistically, try to take deep breaths, because this process is not supposed to be stressful. This process is supposed to be fun. And for me, I'm having an absolutely great time. But I'm also noticing that in certain elements, I'm like feeling a little bit stressed out. And so I'm just doing some breathing work. I'm kind of trusting the process and relying on my accountability partners and my support system to really help me continue to move through that. Fast forward to Saturday, I have my first round of edits back from my editor. So I had the debate. Do I work on it Saturday and Sunday, or do I wait till Monday to get this going? I decided it's Halloween weekend. It's okay to have fun, and it's okay to be in the pursuit of greatness and enjoy yourself. So I decided Saturday to enjoy myself and spend some time with a friend I hadn't talked to, went to a Halloween party, and Sunday I rested. I made gluten-free pumpkin pancakes with my girlfriend, had a wonderful day, and that kind of concludes our week. Now, this is why I said it was kind of funky. The first 3 days of this week, we were grinding heads down, just executing. The back half of this week, it was a lot of trusting the process, traveling, making adjustments to the schedule, and most importantly, making sure that my timeline works. If my timeline's off, you better believe I'm going to step up and execute. But my timeline gave me that permission to say, hey, we're doing a pretty good job here. Take a deep breath if you need it. Take the day if you need it. We got plenty to do. And so now as we move into week 7, I know that I got to grind again. I know that I got to read my entire book and get all the edits done in the next few days. I know that I got to start getting clear on my cover design and what I want to do. So that's kind of where we're at. And you guys will start to see the cover design. Don't worry. I'll be sharing these with all of you as we go through it. I'll be sharing them on my Instagram at Jake Kelfer. I'll be sharing them in a variety of different places with our email list and a few other people. So this is going to be something that's really, really exciting. Now, the time invested. Let's talk about this. All right. How much time did I really spend on the book this week? I mentioned it was funky. I like saying the word funky today, so we're just going to keep saying it. But the reason that this was also funky was because last week, I spent 9 hours and 7 minutes. This week, I spent 2 hours and 27 minutes. Monday, I spent 56 minutes working on the book. Like I said, Mondays are my grind days. I love it. Tuesday, 44 minutes. Wednesday, 32 minutes. Thursday, 0 minutes. Friday, 15 minutes at the airport. Saturday and Sunday, 0 and 0. The big goose egg. So let's put this in perspective. This week, I spent 2 hours and 27 minutes on the book, which is about 21 minutes a day, or if you factor in per writing session, it was 36.5 minutes on average. This is what's crazy about this process. You can do this while running a business. the more organized you are, the more processes you're able to follow, the roadmap that's right in front of you. If you have all that, it makes this book writing process so doable while running your business. Look, this has been one of the craziest traveling schedule I've had in years. And we're still able to write this book in record time and in record speed. And we're bringing in business as this is happening. So I really want to make sure that you're aware of that. You can write this book. You can do it in a variety of different times. Some weeks will be more, some weeks will be less. But you can do this under an hour a day, as we've seen me do this every single week. So our total time that we've spent, 43 days in, folks, at the end of 6 weeks, we have spent 34 hours and 3 minutes, which is 47.51 minutes on average. That's how much time we're spending on this. And my book, I'm just going to say it's good. I'm proud of this thing. I am excited for you to get your hands on it and see exactly what I have been spending my time on with this book and how you can read this book and use it to write your very own nonfiction book. So the final part of today and the final way that we finish all these recaps is, what's the plan for next week? Well, week 7 and every week moving forward is just make it happen, right? But week 7 is specifically, I got to read my entire book based on the edits that my editor did. I got to make my edits, make my changes, send it back to the editor so that she can continue finishing it and do her second pass. I have to get my cover design locked in. We have the first few editions of this, and we need to make some adjustments. We need to make some tweaks. So I got to make those tweaks, and then I can start getting feedback, and I need to hire my formatter. Now, here's what's crazy. All right. I have a formatter that I love going to, but guess what? They are no longer doing formatting. They just shut down their business. And I was like, what the heck? So now I'm communicating with different formatters, going into our arsenal of referral partners and people that we recommend for our clients. And I'm figuring out which person is going to be the formatter for this particular book. It's kind of fun. And it's a great process. So let's see what happens. But week 7 is coming up and it's going to be epic. It's going to be awesome. But here's the deal. All right. Let's recap the recap. All right. We simply got to have fun in this process. If you aren't having fun, then I want you to ask yourself, why are you doing it in the first place? Now, that being said, not everything you do in this process is always going to be fun. And so I want to make this very clear distinction. Sometimes the things you will be doing are not always fun, but when you look at the holistic viewpoint, are you having fun in the pursuit of greatness? And that's what it's all about. That's what Big Idea to Bestseller is all about. That's what this book is all about. That's what this challenge is all about. And if you want to join the challenge, if you want to come hang out and watch the back half of this, text the word bestseller to the number 661-669-7363. One more time. Text the word bestseller to 661-669-7363. And that's what I got for you today. That's our week 6 recap of Project Bestseller, where I attempt to write and launch a nonfiction best-selling book in 90 days or less. I'll see you next week with another recap, and we will be officially on the back half on the next recap. So I love it. I appreciate you, and I hope that you write the book of your dreams. Let's get it.